this part, we are going to improve our pet selection screen by adding a custom style for group boxes, conditional opacity, icons, and making other visual improvements. Let's start by changing the background color to the one we used for the main menu. So let's look what color we used in the main menu. This one. So let's set it here. Let me just remove something that I won't use. Let's look how it looks now. Oh, I forgot to rename the image. It's not kitten, it's kitty now. Okay, the image is stretched, and that's wrong. So first let's change kitten to kitty, like that. But that doesn't resolve stretching. So in order to make images not stretch, we need to add a style for images. Let's add it here. Style, target type, X type, image. Make a setter for the property called stretch and set its value to none. I guess that should correct it now, but just in case, let's see. Okay, that's better. Now let's make our group boxes fancier. I mean more colors and more fun. To make them more in style with these checkboxes and radio buttons, let's add a style to the start of our resources. Style, target type, again X type, group box, and here make a setter for a property called template, because we're going to change the whole template, not just a few properties. So setter value, here is always control template. Control template should have a target type for group box again. Our group box is going to be a grid, yeah, with background, let's say hash 25A0DA. Let's add rows. Now we will have two rows, one for the header and one for the content. So row 1, row definition, will be auto height, and the second one is going to expand. The header is going to be a border. Place it in 0 row. Let's edit border brush, hash 25 A0DA. It's the same as here. Let's add the same background. Inside of it we will have a label. Its foreground is going to be white. Inside of it we will place a content presenter. Its content source is going to be header. Set recognizes access key to true. Okay, our content presenter will close here. We will have another border for content. Border, place it in grid row 1. Let's add some thickness to it. 5 on left, 0 to top, 5 on right, and 5 on bottom. Add border brush to it. Again, the same color. Add background to it, like on the user control. Inside of it we will place another content presenter. Don't mix these two, because this one is for header and this one is for the real group box content. So content presenter, let's add some margin, like 4. Previously we made a small change to the style of radio button. Namely, we just changed the height from fixed to auto. That's all. Change the stack panel style used for these images. Let's just reduce the margin on left and right from 10 to 5. Let's also add triggers to make these pictures semi-transparent when they are disabled. When they are locked, we need to access style triggers, and let's add a trigger for the property is enabled. And well, when its value is false, we will change the property called opacity and decrease its value by half, so to 0.5. Because these images are not enabled, IDEST is enabled equals false for these pictures, their opacity is decreased, like here. This image is enabled by default, because we don't need to unlock it. That's why its opacity is 1. But that's not all. Let's add another style for text blocks, because I want to increase the font size and a few other properties. Style, target type, X type, text block. Let's make a setup for the property called text wrapping. Make it wrap. In case we have long sentences, we will need a setup for vertical alignment. Make it center by default. And we need to change the font size. Its default value is going to be quite large, like 22. Let's also add a style for buttons, because they are out of style now. Let's just copy the style. So X-type button, change its height property to 35. Change its font size to, say, 30. Let's change its max width to 225. Close our resources. Let's see how our pet selection screen looks now. Okay, that's much better, but we have a problem with the margin. The margin is on the grid and it shouldn't be there. Also, let's change the border. Let's increase the border thickness from 2 to, say, 5. Also, let's change the corner radius. We will make it 0 on left, 0 on top, but 10 on right and 10 to bottom. I'm sorry, with the corner radius it works a bit different. So we have 4 values here, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So bottom right, bottom left. These are these values. Now, also let's remove this little margin. And as for the stack panel, let's remove the margin from bottom and top. Instead, we are going to add margin to properties box. Let's add 10 margin to left, 0 top, 10 to right and 10 to bottom. Inside of it, we will have actually 2 columns. One for choosing our pet and one for previewing our pet. Grid column definitions. We will have 2 columns. The first one is going to expand. The second one is going to be fixed size. So its width will be 500. Inside of it, in the left column, we will have another grid. This is going to be our left column. Inside of it, we will place everything except for these 4 buttons. So group box. Let's move it up inside of this grid. Okay. And these 4 buttons are going to be, let's make a grid for them now. So grid column 1 and place them there. It's just temporarily, don't worry. So now that we have everything inside our left column, change the number of rows. So the first one will be auto, the second one will expand, and the last one should be auto as well, but because we moved the buttons here, we don't need one row anymore. We are going to add some icons inside of this text block. So in order to do it, as always, go to GitHub repository and download new images. I have them already in my folder: coin, hunger, and time. Okay, now I'm going to change this text block a lot. So text wrapping wrap, okay. I don't need this margin. Now here, make your pet 100% happy. Let's add a run here. Its foreground is going to be hash 5 ed8 36. Make it bold. It's going to be just our heart character. Let's add a space here. It's happiness, so happy. I just plan to replace all like explicit words with icons, but at least one time we need to explain what are these symbols for. Here we need our first icon of hunger. So image, let's set its source to back, application, colon, comma, 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 images, and hunger.png. Okay, it's too big. Let's decrease its width to 32 and its height to 32 as well. And let's change its stretch property to fill. It's a bit ugly, and we need to change the bitmap scaling mode for it to render correctly, at least in runtime. So render options, bitmap scaling mode, set it to nearest neighbor. At least it will render correct during the execution. Here we will explain that this is hunger, so we'll make it a negative resource. So let's create another one, and it's going to be of tomato color, so foreground tomato. I'll make it bold as well, and explain that it is hunger. Good. Now raises by 1 every day and decreases again. Let's copy our heart character and decreases happiness. Add baseline alignment here to make it center. So run. And baseline alignment, set it to center, and put our sentence here. Well, if you wonder why I do it, when we add icons, you see they are a bit not centered. So you get one. Oh, actually, you get one, and that's the end of our run. So here we will put an image. I'm going to replace the dollar character with the coin. So coin png coin, add such a run again. So you get one coin and one. Again, put an image here. This time. Again, let's copy the run with baseline element centered. Free hour. Just in case, re-import the delete image. Below this text block, we will have a grid for 2 text boxes and 2 buttons with our statistics and buttons to manipulate it. We will have 4 columns this time. The first one will be auto, and the second one too, but the third and the fourth ones should expand. So text block intro will be in the first column, so grid column 1. Because in grid column 0 we will have a text block explaining why we need to win. So grid column 0 with text. Let's copy this character with text. Win games to unlock all pets and ages. So it's a brief explanation why something is locked. Then we have the number of wins, so grid column 1. This should be just wins. Then we will have a button to erase the number of wins. Let's remove the background and border to get rid of this window style button look. In order to do this, just remove the border brush, or rather set it to be transparent, so it doesn't have a body now. Set the background to be transparent as well. Here you have now a nice icon button, and let's set its height to be auto. In column 3 we will have button add win. Change grid column from 0 to 3. It's going to be here. Let's collapse it. Now below we will have a grid instead of a group box, or rather a grid inside of which this group box is going to be. So let's put it in row 1. And inside of this grid we are going to have 3 rows as well. So auto, star and auto. By the way, it doesn't matter what case you use. And inside of it we will place our group boxes. It's time that we move our controls related to the name of the pet to this column. So it's going to be row 0. Let's place this text block inside of this grid. We will separate this grid from other controls. So margin 0 on left, 10 on top, 0 on right and 5 on bottom. Inside of it we will have 2, or rather even 3 column definitions. And the first one will have width set to auto. The first one will be in column 0. Let's change the text a bit from enter to type your pet's name. Then we have a text box in grid column 1 with a larger font size. Let's set it to 22. Also, let's add a margin to the left, so 50. Its text is going to be Rex. And the last one is going to be the warning, so grid column 2. And below we will have a group box. Let's change its header a bit. We don't need to set the row, and we don't need to change border thickness, but let's increase the corner radius from little 2 to large 10. We don't need this margin. Also, let's remove the margin from bottom and top. Now below, instead of a wrap panel, we will have a grid. Don't worry, we'll fix it right now. First, let's change its background to be the same as in user control. Background equals, we will add 5 columns for 5 images, so grid column definitions and column definition. All of them should be equal to, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All the images should be the same, so grid resources. And here we will set a style for images. And we will change the default height to be 120. Now we are going to change all our stack panels a lot. This is going to be grid column 0. Let's change its thickness to 5 and corner radius to 10. Well, this is going to be grid column 1. Then grid column 2. Grid column 3 and grid column 4. So let's change the name from choice A to choice puppy. It's going to be checked by default. We'll access its checked event, so checked equals, say, changed pet. You may wonder why I do this. And this because when we change our pet, we're going to have an indication in our code that the type of the pet has changed. And it has a different name and a different effect, and also a different description added later. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to see more tutorials.